Welcome to the second section of PHP. In this second section, we are going to see about three concepts regarding PHP. First concept is loops, second is about strings, and third is about functions. First we will see about loops in PHP. See, loops, in order to run the same block of code to run over and again in a row, loops are used. There are about 4 different types of loops are available, namely for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. In addition to these loops, we can also continue the loop and we can also break the loop in between the functions. So in order to write some for loop, we will see a PHP code for that for loop. So for this for loop, we are going to use a simply two file system. In that, in one HTML file, we are getting the values from the user. Second, by using that values, we are going to carry out a for loop. So for that, we have two sets of coding. For here, one set of coding is utilized for writing the HTML file that is used to get information from the user. It is a form section of HTML file. We indicated the code is here. The second part is the PHP part, which will make this the original function of the loop. Here you can see we are going to assign the obtained value of A and B to $A and $B, and then we are running out the for loop. We are here running the for loop about 5 times, and during that 5 times we are going to add value of 10 to A and value of 5 to B. Say we are going to run this loop for about 5 times. So when you add 10 5 times, so we should have the value of A above 50 plus the value what we are going to give. Similarly for B, it is around 25 plus what the value we are going to give. So this is how we are going to get as the end of this loop. So now we are going to run this particular file by using the Apache server. Here you can see we are going to type the two files. One is for loop HTML file, the other one is for loop PHP file. So we are going to run this for loop HTML file. So now for loop HTML file. Okay, so now it will ask two values. We are going to give value of say 5 or 50. Okay, 50 and value of 20 here. So we are going to submit these values. When we submit these values, we will get 50 and 25 is added. So 50 plus 50 100, 20 plus 25 is 45. So this is how the for loop is running here. Okay. So this is about the running of for loop. The second we are going to see about strings. So for the strings, for life-science students, the using of string is become very essential because we are going to deal with sequence, and these sequences are considered as a string. A string is a sequence of characters. So the string operation is vital for bioinformatics of life-science students. So this string operations commands available in more in PHP. We can combine the string by using this command, and we can identify the length of the string by using this command, and we can count the number of letters in a string by using this command, and we can reverse the string by using string reverse command, and we can identify a particular sequence by using the str post command, and we can change a particular sequence by using this command. So like this, we have immense number of commands are available for the string operations in PHP, and this also we can run by getting the values from the users, and we can run the files, or we can straight away run this file. So for simplicity, we are going to see that this string operations again going to be carried out in 2 steps. In one step we are going to get the value from the user, in the second step we are going to run the sequence. So for getting the values from the users, this string is also going to be carried out in two files. One is here, string HTML is a 1/2, and this is almost very much similar to the form which is already used. So it's almost similar, only the difference is here we changed the file name as strings b, otherwise the total file is same as that of previous one. And here also the value of the submit button is changed as string manipulation. Otherwise it's very much similar to the previous loop example HTML file. The other file is the strings file. It is the file what we saw it in the explanation part of Word file. So this portion is actually different. So we are going to assign a string 1 and string 2. Otherwise the other commands are same as what we saw in the previous example in the Word file. So now we are going to run this strings HTML file by using the server strings HTML file. So now it will ask for two strings. We can give two strings, like one string is bioinformatics, the other one is bioinfo, we will say bio. Okay, so now we will submit the values. So we submitted the value of bioinformatics and bio. So these two strings are combined here, and then the length of this particular string 1, as per the program says, we are going to identify the string length of string 1, and then what are the number of counts in string 1, and then the matching, what is the word from which this particular match is obtained, and then reverse string 1, and then the length or the match of string 1, that is, you can see here the string position where the particular word mat is present in a string 1. That's what we are getting as 8, and then we are going to replace the bio. Instead of bio we are going to replace chemi. That is what the case of last option, you can see here. So we are going to replace the bioinformatics into chemi informatics. So this is what the string operation examples for PHP. Now we will move on to the third operation, that is the functions. By using PHP we can easily carry out many functions. Functions means to a block of reaction. What reaction we want? We can include many reactions as a module. Okay, you can call that actions and that functions as module. At any place when you need that module, particular module, you can call it. So the code will be in the same file, but it is not executed until you call the function. So that is the advantage of the function. So function is a piece of code which takes one more input in the form of parameter and does some processing and returns a value. Okay, so the functions have two parts. That is, one is the creating a function, the other one is calling a function. So function is not executed until you call a function. So now you can see an example of a function here. We are going to use a function known as writing function. So this is the block for the writing PHP. That is, we are going to call a function known as write message. That is, best wishes for online email is the message. And when you call this function, that is write message function, then it will be executed. If you are not using this line, you cannot get this statement in your output. That's why it is known as, this part is known as the calling of function, and this is known as the writing of function file. So again we copy this file and then we paste it in a file known as functions in a PHP. You can see here there should be a file known as functions. If it is not there, we will create a function file, no problem at all. So now we can copy this part. Okay. And then we will create a file here. As usual, the word text document file as a file name is functions then the extension should be php. Then you paste content. And then you save the file. Now you run the file. Now you get the output as best wishes for online course. If you remove this calling function part of this file, if you remove this part and then you save the file, and when you run this file, you may not get this wording. So even though the code is there for a function, it does not give its output until or unless it is called within that program. So that is the advantage of this function. So with this, we are concluding the second section of PHP 5. Thank you.